Hey y'all, what's going on? It's me, Akira, part of TruthAndLoveUnited.com. What's going on? How you doing? I'm great. Thanks for asking. So listen, today we're going to be talking about projected expectations, but we're going to talk about it right after the intro. Let's go. But before we get into it, first I just want to thank you. Thank you everybody who's watching the videos, sharing the videos, commenting. Thank y'all so much. Please make sure that you are hitting the subscribe button. Make sure you're hitting the notification bell. So every time I post something, you gonna know about it. And also make sure that you are sharing. Just keep doing all that stuff. I appreciate it so much. Anyway, all of this started because of actually Pusha T and Drake. It's kind of funny. So I don't know if you guys remember a couple months ago, or it's been a while, the whole Drake and Pusha T thing happened. I personally feel like Pusha T dragged Drake, but that's a whole nother video. We ain't gonna go there today. And during that time, Pusha T went on to Joe Budden's podcast. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with Joe Budden, but this particular interview was really, really good. I really respect the way he talks about hip-hop because you can tell he has a genuine love for it. He's not just here for the money. He's not just here for the clout, but that's another video. He genuinely cares about the culture. So I like watching his, and I don't always agree. Most times I don't agree with Joe Budden, but I appreciate the passion he has for the culture. He was interviewing Pusha T. At one point, Pusha T says something like, matter of fact, I'm gonna just insert the clip. This is what he said.
Like, my dad will tell me to this day, every time he sees me, everybody's not built like you. Mm-hmm. You know that. You treat them accordingly. You don't gotta, but you treat everybody accordingly. They're not built like you. As long as you know that, you good. When you stop knowing that is when, you know, that's when it's your fault. You'll tell me that's your fault. You know that. Because you knew.
And that clip always gets me. Like, always gets me, because I believe that who we are is encompassing of multiple things, obviously. But two of the major things is how we're raised, and then as we get older, what things we allow to influence us and affect us. I'm a hip-hop fan, so over the years, I've allowed a lot of hip-hop to affect me. Influence me, I guess is the better word. Negative ways and in positive ways. And at this point in my life, I've definitely decided to try to lean more on the positive side, you know what I'm saying? When he said that, like, something just clicked to me, like, because I'm the type of person, I have thoughts, but sometimes they're a little jumbled, you know what I'm saying? I edit a lot of stuff out because the way my mind goes so fast sometimes that, like, I start stuttering, and it's like, I don't know how to latch on to a certain thought, like, because my mind goes so fast. When I hear other people properly articulate a thought that I've had, it's like I instantly latch onto it. So this thought is something that I've had for a while. And honestly, when I had it, it helped me to navigate how I treat people. And ever since I heard him say it, it was like, yes, that's the thought right there. How it actually started was, so years ago, no surprise, I'm a Jay-Z fan. And I actually became a Jay-Z fan during the Blueprint 2, The Gift and the Curse. On that song, I think actually it's the very first song. It's called Dreams. It samples Biggie's It Was All a Dream. During the song, Jay-Z says something like, I had a dream, I said, about who he said, about Big, I said, that's Big, he said. Now, if you don't know who Big is Notorious B.I.G. If you don't know who he is, I don't even know how you got here if you don't know who raised you, is the question. Anyway, so that's what he says in the song, but at the end of the song, he says, it's a part, so after the beat plays, I think Faith is on the song too, but at the very end, it's just Jay-Z a cappella, and he says, I see, I said, jealousy, I said, got the whole industry mad at me, I said, then B, I said, Hov, remind yourself, nobody's built like you designed yourself. I agree, I said, my one-of-a-kind self gets thrown every day like Jesus did, but he said, I said, has been said before, so keep doing your thing, he said, say no more. But anyway, ever since I've heard that, though, that has always been my thing. Nobody's built like you designed yourself. And I think that goes back to, what do you allow to influence you? How you move throughout the world and how you are perceived is largely based on the way that you handle situations and the way you allow things to influence you. You know what I'm saying? With all that being said, and with those two thoughts, and so that quote or whatever it's always been floating around in my mind, and I've tried to move accordingly. Like I said, everyone's not built like me. So I can't expect the same level of commitment, the same level of loyalty, the same level of love, the same level of, fight and just whatever. I can't expect that from other people, which for me is a gift and a curse, because if I say I rock with you, I rock with you. Till the wheels fall off, the wheels can fell off, the car about to blow up, and we're going to jump out the car together. Like, that's just the type of person I am. And over the years, I have met people who are either not that way, or in the beginning they seem that way, and then real life happens and it's like, oh, you not built like me. And for a while, I allowed those situations to harden my heart, and I want to be bothered with anybody. Even like my best friend, it was points where I just didn't want to talk to nobody. I was good. I call it going into hermit mode, where I just don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to be bothered. I'm in my feelings. I don't want to explain it. I just want to be left alone. But that's not cool. Once I got to a place, though, what I realized, like he said, once you know, and once you start operating in the idea that everyone's not built like you, the whole game changes. Because then it's like, you know what? I can't even be mad at you, foul, because real talk, you've already showed me flags that you might be foul, and I decided to ignore them for whatever reason. But you know what? I'ma believe you the first time. That's what Maya Angelou said, right?
I've learned from you. And I still am, I think I know the lesson, and then I'll walk into a situation and think that's that same lesson. And that is, when people show you who they are, believe them.
Yes, absolutely. A person says to you, I'm selfish, or I'm mean, or I am unkind,
Or I'm crazy.
or believe them. They know themselves much better than you do.
Mm-hmm.
But no, more often than not, those of us who don't trust life say, don't say a thing like that. You're not really crazy. You're not really unkind. You're not really mean. And as soon as you say that, the person
That you know.
and shows you, I told you. I told you I was unkind. So now why are you angry?
So I'm going to just believe what you said the first time, and I'm going to act accordingly. That don't mean I'm rude. That don't mean I'm disrespectful. That don't mean I'm nasty. But I just know how to handle you. I know to keep you here. You know what I'm saying? We live in a world that try to make us feel like either it's like day one's loyalty, or it's you can't talk to nobody. I remember one Sunday during Sunday school, one of the ministers in my church, I want to say we were talking about, I forget what exactly we were talking about, but I remember us talking about how basically as Christians we're like a lighthouse, and how because we're lighthouses, lighthouses, if you think about it, they're stationary and they're a light that just spins, and it tells people that it's safe here, that this is a space that you could come, you could be safe, you could be cool, don't trip, take your shoes off, get comfortable, all of that good stuff, right? And I remember during that lesson saying that the one thing about a lighthouse, though, is that you can't always dictate who you attract, right? So with that being said, you gotta learn how to handle people. You not built like me, but that don't mean I can't have empathy for you. That doesn't mean that I can't love you from a distance when necessary. That doesn't mean that if you need help, I won't be there for you. But you gotta know where somebody is. You gotta know, based on where they are, what they're capable of, what they're not capable of, what they can handle, what they can't handle. Once you've established those things, that should dictate how you treat them. There's no reason you should be treating this person you just met 5 seconds ago like your person you've known since you were an embryo. That's just crazy. And social media, you'll have you jacked up thinking that everybody your friend, and realistically, you've only known that girl 2 seconds. We're friendly. Where I work, or in the span of my career, that's weird to say, I feel like a grown person. In the span of my career, I make it a rule to not be friends with my coworkers. It's a personal thing. We can be friendly, we can be cool, but I don't make it a point to be friends with my coworkers. Why? Because when life happens, I still got to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? If something happens personally and then we come to work, because I'm the type of person,
I'm still growing, because if y'all watch me, you already know.
I'm the type of person, if we got a problem, everybody go know we got a problem. Period. I might not be rude and loud and crazy, but my energy is just, nah, son. Until we fix this, let's not even fake. We ain't even got a perk. We ain't doing it, which is not okay. And I'm working on it, but it just is what it is right now. I'm working on it though. I make it a rule, especially when at one point I was in management, I made it a rule. I did not hang with my people who work under me or who I was, I don't like over and under. I don't like those words. I don't like the word subordinate either. The people who I managed, thank you, those are better words. I made it a point to never hang out with the people I managed. I was friendly with people, but we were not friends. To this day, I don't even follow coworkers on social media because I don't want you in my business like that. If we're just keeping it a buck. Some of them know about my blog, but or our little community we're building, they know about it. But other than that, I like to keep work and family completely separated. Wasn't that Biggie who said that? But that's the crack commandments. But never mind. That's neither here nor there. I'm hot. Again, because I don't want to intermingle those two worlds. And if something happens, don't get me wrong. Once I start working with you, we could be friends all day. You know what I'm saying? I have a coworker who, if you've been on my Instagram for a while, then you know I used to have a podcast called Everything and Nothing. And on that podcast, I did it with my friend Jonathan. Jonathan is actually somebody I met through my job. He's probably one of the few people that I can genuinely say is my friend. I have a few like Jonathan, Sean, Isaac. But yeah, like friends. Those are like my friends that I still talk to every now and then, whatever. But again, because I work with you, I handle you a certain way. I don't expect you to have the same level of loyalty that my best friend that since I've been 12. Or even, I don't know if we talked about this here, but at this point in my life, a lot of the friends that I have are women, and they are women that I met in my church. I've been in my church, did we talk about this? I've been in my church 10 years. So all of them haven't been there that long, but I would say at least the one I've known the least amount of time, it's been at least 3 years though. So because we've been in not intimate situations, but intimate things about me, my family, real life stuff that has happened to me, I don't mind sharing with my friends. It'd be different if that person turns on me versus the person at work. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's really important that when we're sharing our light and when we're operating in that space, that we make sure we remember, like, hey, everybody can't handle everything. So when you are building with people, make sure that you are just very clear about where you stand with people. I don't believe we were created to live in walls. We're supposed to get out into the world. We're supposed to mingle. We're supposed to, just be out here and sharing the good news and spreading your light and all of that good stuff. And I understand how life and situations and people can make you not want to. But I think a huge part of just life, and really, especially if you're a Christian and really living a Christian life, is change perspective, which we can do a whole nother video on, because change perspective, that's the cheat code, but that's a whole nother video. Once you realize, you know what? You're not built like me. And you not being built like me can be for several reasons. Maybe you were raised differently than me. Maybe you don't have the same belief system as me. Maybe you just don't have the same level of empathy or care or genuineness or whatever it is that I have. And because of that, I'm not saying that I'm not going to be myself, but just be aware of the fact that that person might not receive it. So you got to learn how to taper, you know what I'm saying? Taper your emotions to be able to handle those situations. Because when life happens, that don't mean stop being you. That don't mean you can't be a good girl gone bad. That don't mean start being cutthroat and crazy. That's not what that means. It just means that, you know what? I'll let you get that off. I'm going to take that L. That's fine. But you know what? I just know how to move better the next time. So that's all I got to say. This one's going to be real short, cute, straight to the point. We make life a lot more complicated than it needs to be. We just got to chill, yo. In this space right now where I'm learning how to be. Shout out to my friend Keone. I'm learning just how to be. I have a hard time with people. I have a hard time with emotions. We all know that. I've said that more than once. But I'm in a place where I'm working on it genuinely, intentionally. And one of the biggest lessons that I've learned is that instead of being so calculating, not in a negative way, but calculating like, wait, this is what this means. This, like, I'm very specific about the way I like things and what things are supposed to mean. Learning how to just be is hard, But I think as you are learning how to adjust to people and how to have what type of situations and whatever with people, and you're learning how to just be, it becomes easier once you stop putting those expectations on people. We put so much expectation on people that they didn't earn. We put expectations that they don't deserve, and we put expectations that they didn't even ask for. And then when they let us down, we're confused and we're distraught and we're hurt. They didn't even ask for that. Ladies, how many times have we been in situationships and then when he cheat, we mad, but it's like we wasn't even together. I'm just saying, and I'm saying ladies because I'm a lady and I've been in that situation, and you know, death to situationships. I think I wrote about that. You should check out the blog because I think that's on there. Yeah, we gotta make sure we're setting proper expectations. We gotta make sure we're setting proper boundaries, and we gotta make sure that we're checking ourselves. Because once you have those boundaries in place, you won't be as bothered by things, and you will live. You know how we always talking about, I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you. Living my best life. You really can live your best life because you're not focused or caught up in the emotion or the whatever of people not living up to expectations that you put on them. Period. The whole reason Pusha T was even having that conversation was because Joe Budden's podcast consists of him and other men, and during the interview, they were talking about how can Kanye be cool with Drake knowing the history between them. And that's when Pusha T started talking about, hey, you know, everybody's not built like me. At one point, I wish I could have found the other clip. It's in that same interview, but it's 3 hours and I didn't feel like trying to look for it. He gets like kind of hype about it. He was like, if you can't fight, you can't go to the mall with me. Like, if you're not built like me, I don't even want you. Because if it hit the fan and you duck, I'm gonna feel away. So I'd rather just not even put you in that situation. Be aware enough to not put people in those situations if you don't know if they battle tested. You know what I'm saying? When life starts to happen, you gotta have the people who you know how to pray, who you know how to talk you off the ledge. You don't need nobody who gonna be pumping you up in your foolery. You need people who are gonna be like, you know you tripping, right? People who could call you out in love and be like, yo, I love you enough to not let you go on this kamikaze mission. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this might be a little all over the place today. I didn't mean for it to be, but I just had to get that out. It just keeps coming up in little different ways, so I felt like I'm being led to talk about it. So that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Like I said at the beginning, make sure you are like, commenting, subscribing, sharing, all of that good stuff. Like I always say, as long as you're running your race at God's pace, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Peace. Blah, 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 blah. Like I